Hey guys, I'm out at Capitol State Forest again. I wanted to do more filming, but I knew it was going to rain, or at least I figured it was going to rain. Excuse me. So I brought my tarp to set up, but we were getting like flash snow, sleet downpours. Like this is like, I mean, a lot of this is already melted off, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, it was really heavy there for a while, so I kind of just huddled under the tarp and um, the weatherman said upper 40s, some rain, but upper 40s, some sunshine in the afternoon, which kind of seems like that's what we got now, but it's it was looking pretty bleak there for a little while. And it's a lot colder. It's only about mid 30s, I think, mid to upper 30s. So yeah, I'm in one of the same spots I've been to a couple times before. When I was driving in here, it was, well, like I said, it was mid 30s, so I didn't want to go somewhere and have to find a bunch of firewood. I knew there was already firewood here, and it was snowing pretty good driving in here, so I just wanted to get somewhere that I knew I could get set up with and get a fire going pretty quickly, just to kind of hang out. So that's what I did. It is kind of chilly, so I'm probably going to get some more wood split up. I got just a little bit, but I want to get some more split up. So we got all this to pick from, and I'm just going to cut it as I go. The stuff that I've split the last few times that I was here, it soaked up water like a sponge, so I'm just going to cut it as I go this time. Seems to be drier, but so yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to get a fire going, or a bigger fire going, not huge, but a little bit bigger probably, and then we'll have a little chat. All right, so the PCT, the big one. It's pretty good. Long story short, I'm not going this year. That was a tough decision to make. It was a really tough decision to make. But there are a few reasons why I made the decision to not go. So the first reason, and the reason I decided to go, or at least to apply for the permit to go, was my rent was going to go up $600 a month. That was a few months ago. They gave me a 3-month notice. I think they're legally required to give a 3-month notice if they're going to raise the rent that much. I don't know the exact laws on that, so that's just what I've heard. But anyway, they gave me 3 months notice and said your rent's going up $600 a month if you want to renew your lease. And I said, nope. So I started looking around for other apartments. At that time, everything was just as crazy, just as overpriced. So I said, you know what, I'm going to try and get a PCT permit. And I actually got one, and I was pretty convinced I was going to go. But between then and now, rents have come back down, and I was actually able to get my apartment for the same price that I offered them when I got my renewal notice. So I went to the office, said, this is crazy, here's my offer. They never got back to me. But once I actually gave them my move-out notice and they posted the apartment for rent, it was the same price that I offered them. So I went back and said, rent it to me for that price. So the second reason, and the reason why, probably the bigger reason why I decided not to go, was I have a problem with my hip from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it didn't seem like it was getting better. So I went to the doctor, and talking to the doctor, it just seemed like it was going to be at least a few month process to figure out what the problem is and potentially fix it. So I was not confident in my ability to do an almost 3,000 mile hike this summer without really knowing what was going on with my hip. And I've since started physical therapy. Seems like it's going good, but we'll see. But I got a year to figure it out now, so that's good. That was probably the main reason. Between that and being able to get relatively affordable housing again, I decided to put the PCT off and wait till next year, which was my original plan anyway. And the third thing, which would not have been a factor if those other two things didn't happen, but the third thing was the snow year in the Sierra. It just made the decision that much easier. If that was the only thing I was concerned about, that alone wouldn't have stopped me from going, but it made the decision a little easier. So yeah. Was able to get an affordable apartment, at least relatively affordable for the area, which is just south of Seattle. I wasn't confident in my ability to actually do a through hike without being sure what the issue was or is with my hip and how long it's going to take to fix. And then those two things, coupled with the fact that the Sierra is having a crazy year, I said, you know what, it's probably best to put this off till next year, till 2024. So that's what I'm going to do. One of the things when I got my permit, one of the things was I wasn't very familiar with how all the permits worked. And when I got that permit, I basically said, I better use this because I might not ever get another one. But I've since done some more research about the permits, and I'm not worried about being able to get one. If I don't get a through hiker permit, there's other permits I can get that would allow me to do the hike. So I'm not worried about permits anymore. So that, I guess that helped make the decision easier too, was I was worried about not being able to go next year for permit reasons, but now, knowing what I know now, I'm not worried about that at all. So yeah, that's why I've decided to hold off on the PCT until 2024. It's kind of disappointing, but I think longer term, I think it's the right decision. I was kind of rushing to it this year. I'd be leaving in a month if I was going, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd be leaving in a month, and I still have gear to buy. So I was kind of rushing through, like speed running the plan process, and that would have made it work, but it was just one more thing that I was stressed about. So I decided, we're gonna wait till next year. But ultimately, as annoying as it is, I think it is the right call, and it just gives me that much more time to get ready, and I think for that reason, it's going to be that much better next year. So, still plan on hiking it. I'm just pushing it out a year. which was my original plan anyway. So that's pretty much that. I know it's kind of disappointing if any of you subscribed, because I said I was going to hike the PCT. There's still going to be lots of good content this summer. I'll be honest, I'm getting kind of bored with these videos because I just sit in my chair and talk. But there isn't too many places I can go right now, at least that aren't really far away. So once I can get back into the Cascades and do those kind of trips, and once it's not raining all the time, like I'm just filming with my camera right now because it's been raining off and on, like really raining off and on all day. So and it still is pretty cold at night. Like it was supposed to be, I think, upper 40s today, and it's mid 30s right now. It's pretty cold out. But yeah, anyway,